What is your imagination creating? Whether you're having a dream life and you're exactly where you want to be, or you're having a bit more of a shitty life and it's not where you want to be and you're desperately trying to change but you don't know how to, and you keep being on that hamster wheel and keep doing the same things over and over. Here's the thing that I learned from one of my coaches, and it really, really stung when he first said it. He said, "You are exactly where you are meant to be based on the choices you have made." And I thought, well, at the time I thought, I don't want to be here. This is not where I want to be. This is where I shouldn't be. I want to be here, here, here. I want to, have more money to enjoy, more experiences, have more adventures. I don't want to be in this place where I was feeling shit about myself and feeling down on myself. But then I realized he was right. You get to create your reality any moment of any time of any day. And if you don't like it, you have the power to change it. The problem is, we get stuck in the stories, the scripts, the conditioning of our past. So when I look back, in hindsight, the actions I have taken have led me to this point. And if I'm not happy with that, that's down to me. And because of that, I'm the person who can change that. But here's the thing. Sometimes I have felt in the past, and I'm sure other people have as well, clients of mine have, it's the fact that looking inside yourself for the answers is never where you go first. You always think the answers with everything external and you run from one thing to the other. Because self-development is the most challenging thing you'll ever face. Why? Because it's a scary thing to do, turn inside. But inside we must go if we desire or choose to move in a different path that will give us a life that we truly deep down would love, but we're not taking the steps, whether that's expectation, comparison, judgment, all the normal stuff that all humans seem to feel, include myself. I'm having some challenges at the moment which I'm about to address, and they feel big and scary, but I know they're not. It's just because I have stories and scripts playing about what might happen if I do it. That's down to me, and everyone else has their thing going on. So what perception needs dissolving? What is your imagination creating? We all create our own monsters. We all have our own monsters, which are the biggest, scariest things in the world in our heads, but they're not really. We just make them that way. So how can we transmute that energy that we're using to create these big, scary things? And how can we transmute that energy into something really creative, something that we really want instead of something we don't? It's about changing perception, your perception, my perception. So how is this energy presenting itself? And how can we transmute it into other things, whether that could be, I don't know, even from a training session. It could be a book you've always wanted to write, a career you've always wanted to do. You might be stuck in one job, but you dream of doing something else, if only. How do we go about it? How do we get exactly where we'd love to be in our wildest dreams? And it starts with mastering the basics, and it sounds really mundane, but we'll master the mundane first, those basic things. And something that I believe most people on this planet struggle with is palate. The food we eat, what we ingest, what we eat, what we drink is probably the biggest talking point that anybody has ever, because we're too obsessed with how we look on the outside and we forget about our health on the inside, and that's what we should be looking at. That's where we get to turn into. Food is fuel. It's the emotions we attach around them that prevents us from moving forwards. And very few people master this. Very few people master these basics. Because if you can master the mundane, the palate, the things we cleanse through food, we will see old shadows and scripts and sub-personalities released as soon as we try to change what we eat. Because there's a million stories we have attached why we can't do this. We didn't like that when we were younger, or last time I ate that, this happened. circumstances, experiences, all attached to an emotional story. But if we can just move past that, bringing up our awareness, then we can change what we eat, what we drink. We can change what other things we ingest through our eyes, through our ears. We can stop watching the news. We can stop listening to gossip. We can let go of anger. We can let go of hate. All these things that we need to do. We just need to really just let go. Because at the end of the day, it's never about repression. It's about expression. Pure imagination, your imagination. How can you bring it? How can you bring that energy out and transmute it into the world and create exactly what you have in your mind's eye that you'd love to do and love to be? Transmute the energy. Pure imagination. Use it and see what happens.